I made another hole in the floor.
Now it's on fire. Good job, Franklin.
Oh, you're blow that fucking thing out.
Seriously? Whoa.
There we go.
That's so sick. Excuse me, I need to install my shaft in this hole in the...
Don't make it move.
No, make it move.
Oh my god, it's so bright in here, I can't hear you.
Yeah, this is so sick. All right, guys, we are getting back on the Baja Bug. You can see in the last video we did all the paint work on it. If you haven't checked out that video, I highly recommend it because you can watch Megan do all of this incredible artwork on the car. It's all hand done. Paint markers, paint pens. It was very cheap. It was, you know, about $100 to do everything you see here on this thing. If you haven't seen that video on how we did this, I'll put the card up. It's like a 40+ minute video. It's super awesome to watch. You'll learn a lot and you definitely should check it out. So before you watch this one, go check that one out. But we're gonna continue where we left off. So these wheels need to go to powder coat because they're the wrong color. There's nothing on this car other than the shocks, which won't stay this color, that are this kind of machined aluminum finish. I don't want that on the car. We're gonna go black. So I think black and gold on the wheels is gonna tie everything in really nicely. We're gonna have some yellow parts on the roof. We're gonna put some KC highlights on this thing in this video. Bunch of cool stuff. So we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna pull these wheels off, get the bead lock separated because these are a real bead lock. These are BTRs, which I believe I've been told by all the pre-owner guys are better than Robbie's. So if you're a pre-owner guy, Robbie Gordon wheels are like the OG wheels. So these are BTRs. So a little bit different, kind of similar to a Robbie, but it kind of looks like an OG slot mag, and I think it fits the car really well, but not a fan of the color, at least with this paint scheme on it. So we're gonna pull these off, send them out to the guys over at Revolution Auto Design. My buddy Pedram over there, he's gonna take care of me and get these things powder coated in black for me. So if you guys ever need any sort of automotive service in San Diego, highly recommend those guys. So we're gonna pull these things off, get them separated over at JC Tire next door, take them down and get them coated. Catch up with the guys over at Rev and get these knocked out. A little work truck action today, not too bad. This thing doesn't see truck use very often, but every once in a while it does. Not a bad work truck. You can hear the motor's not running all that great, so after our King of the Hammer strip and all the stuff with the bug, we're definitely going to take a look at this thing and just get it completely dialed in. We have a new transmission for it and a bunch of other stuff to really dial this thing in. So it's close though. It's definitely close. Good old Miramar, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you, sir.
Wheel.
Yay. Hey, how's it going? Hey, man.
What are we doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. I just got here.
We are at Powder One.
Shout out to these guys who are helping us out. Shout out to the guys at Revolution Auto Design behind the camera for helping me out too.
Revolution Auto. Oh, I was like, am I wearing my Rev Auto jacket today or my faulty jacket?
Or the 909 one.
Yeah, it's either. They're on rotations. We got Craig's wheels here. What color? You want to tell them what color or you want them to wait?
I think it's going to match up the car. So like we said at the shop, we're going to do a black, but the ring is what we're trying to figure out still.
Yes.
You'll have to wait for that.
The perfect gold. Which one did I write gold? I did one of them a little bit of gold, but we're going to do a little gold on that. So yeah, so it's going to be a little gold like that. They're going to look decent.
Yeah, they're going to be rad. I'm stoked.
We'll get to it.
Gonna do a little switcheroo here, switch into the shop truck. I got some stuff to do to this thing. It needs a new fuel pump and a couple other things, so it's probably gonna run like crap. It runs great now, but like under any sort of acceleration, it breaks up really bad, and it's not an electrical problem. At least I don't think so. So fuel filter and pump, upstream pump are in for this thing, but I need to bring this thing down to the shop to fix it. So trying to make it down there in a 45-minute drive. We'll see if I can make it. There's a bunch of hills, and it's not gonna like it. So I don't know. Wish me luck.
Ah, yes. What a loyal unit. I can't see a damn thing out of this window, though. But still driving with the ZF. Interior's not even close to done. No, there's one door panel, not another one. But yeah, it's driving. It's working. All right, guys. Got down to the shop. Traded into the shop truck. I don't know how this happened, but I ended up with a truck bed full of slicks, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know how that works, but shout out to my buddy Jonathan for hooking it up with some of these. These are 23 date coated, and they have plenty of tread. They've only got 5 heat cycles on them, so if you guys remember, I actually do have a real set of Goodyear Eagle slicks for the F100, and I can't actually use them very well on the street because they're 15 years old, so I got those. So these are actually like, they're still not street legal, but they're a little bit easier to use, and they're actually like not gonna
gonna crack and explode, so it's better than being 15 years old, I guess. But coming in here, we got some wiring going on. Christian's working on the wiring inside the car, getting a battery mounted, and I'm kind of dialing in the steering while he does that, so we're not crawling over each other.
Oh,
what you working on, buddy?
You got another hole in the floor.
Oh, why is it that every specific spot that I'm trying to work on, there's another hole? Oh, wait.
These are only your cars.
Put it back, put it back. There will be no more forbidden holes in my car. But yeah, we got a Dirt King battery tray we're gonna put in there. I think it might be worth our time to cut that out and just weld a new plate in, because we have some material to put in. That might happen.
Then weld this in.
Yeah, do a little welding action.
It's actually the original battery hole.
Yep, I did notice that.
Yeah.
It was over here. Now we're putting it back over there. And then we're gonna leave this random battery mount for no reason. You can see the steering in this thing is like not okay. So I cut all the old mounts out, threw all that stuff in the garbage, because it was like one of those old school quick releases where it's like a locking pin. You push the pin down and the whole thing comes off. It's not splined or anything. It's just got flat sides, and we didn't want that, so we threw all that away. So it's the same setup that I run in the Lincoln, which works really, really well. The strange engineering setup. And the one thing I got to do is pull it off the rack. So I went ahead and separated it. I don't know if I loosened the bolt. I don't know if it'll actually come off. Okay, well, I gotta get the steering rod out because somebody welded it 8 million times, so I gotta figure all that out. And basically start from the rack and go all the way up to the steering wheel. And make it actually safe, because that's really the thing we're trying to do here. It wasn't very safe before, so I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, I made another hole in the floor. So this is what we're working with the steering in this car, and it was welded, cut, sleeved, bolted, welded poorly, tack welded, tack, more tacks, and then I don't know what in the world this is, but it's not even on the same plane. You can see it's actually kicked, like this whole piece is like cocked this way for some reason. So every time you turn the steering wheel, it's like doing this. So I'm gonna cut all this. I'm gonna start right here. I think I'm gonna leave this tube, fully weld this, fully weld this. This U-joint's still good, so we're gonna burn this entire thing, 360 weld the whole thing. I'm gonna cut this flange off and get the correct U-joint to go here. And if I have to just weld them together, then I'll do that. But this is not, I don't like this. We're not gonna run this, so. Alright, man, it's crazy. The more I look at this thing, it's like from the front, it looks like a fully prepped like race car, which is crazy to me. Like, you see the front end of the suspension of this car, you see the numbers on the door and all the other stuff, and this gnarly front suspension that it's got going on, and you're like, man, what the heck is this thing? And you got Franklin inside blowing holes in my food.
Hey.
There you go.
It's really thin. Okay.
I'm getting fine.
Really, hey,
he says it's fine. I think it's you. There's no such thing as bad welders.
weld
Just
for a living.
there you go, Frankie Fab. Good job. Good job, Franklin. You welded in the tray backwards.
Oh, this is different.
Oh yeah, that's sturdy.
Oh yeah.
Everyone is stupid except me.
Hey.
Now it's on fire. Good job, Franklin. Oh, you're
blow that fucking thing out.
So you're stitching it that way.
That's not stitched.
Franklin.
I didn't blow out that rail.
Yeah, you really filled it. Now what, are you just gonna follow it down? Alright guys, so moving forward with the Bug, and one of the biggest things that I'm most excited for in 2024 is my partnership with KC Highlights. This thing, and being gold and black, it just fits the car perfectly to run all of this KC product on it. And the OG smiley face that you guys all know from so many different movies and famous off-road cars, it's the only thing that I could see fit for this car. So I wanted to give a massive personal thank you for the guys at KC Highlights for partnering with me on this car for King of the Hammers and all the future projects that we're gonna do. So going over everything, this is what we're gonna be putting on the car. So as you guys know, the KC Daylighter is one of the most famous lights to ever exist on an off-road car. You see this on dune buggies, monster trucks, any sort of famous car. It's been in Back to the Future, all sorts of different movies. It's a well-known light, and when you think of an off-road light, you think of a yellow smiley face, this is what comes to mind. So I can see no better fit for the Bug with the color scheme and everything and vintage styling that's on it than the KC Highlights. So we have a whole set that's gonna go on the roof. As you guys know, we have this vintage style curved round light rack. So putting any sort of squared off bar or any sort of tacky things like that on this car just didn't seem fit. So it had to have a round light. So what we have here is KC Highlights' Slimlite LED. These are a spot beam 50 watt LED. They're 7-inch around and they have a stud pattern mount. So you can see there's a single right here. And what this will allow us to do is have a modern LED light with a vintage face. That's why we have these caps over here. But if I wanted to, I can actually go ahead and put these covers over it and keep it more modern. And you can actually get a bunch of different styles of caps on their website, which is really cool. So no matter what style you're looking for, if you have a hot rod or you have a brand new Raptor, you can put vintage style lights on it, or you can put old style lights on it with using the same light and just swapping the caps out. So I can go to one car show and run the daylighter caps, and if I want to do some sort of cool modern thing, I can run these around and put these guys on. So I can actually change it and play with it a little bit without having to change the light entirely, which is super cool. So the Slimlite is their 7-inch. It's a 50 watt spot beam. We're going to run 5 of these guys on the roof. So there's going to be 5. There's 2 and 2 right there. So there's 4. And then we have the 5th one right here. We're going to run these guys. These will sit in the studs on the roof mount right here. You can see there's studs going across, and they'll sit center all the way across there. Now this is an 8-inch opening, so I think a 7-inch bulb will fit perfectly in there. And then we're going to be running the old classic daylighter. You guys are familiar with that. The KC daylighter is the one that you guys all know and love. It's in its modern form right here. These things back in the day used to have halogen bulbs in them, and so now they've been modernized with an LED. So they're Gravity series, they're an LED. So it still has that vintage look with the housing and everything, but it does run an LED, so you don't have to worry about it getting hot, using a bunch of voltage, and this will be a nice good driving beam for us. This is what you would see on a lot of dune buggies or a lot of off-road cars, you know, if they're running a headlight per se. And they do make DOT ones specifically, so, and being this is more of an off-road car, we are gonna run these as our headlights. The front of this thing likes to snap up like crazy, so we need to have a really good headlight on this thing. So these would be the 2 on the front that stay on all the time, and then we'll have the 5 on the roof on auxiliary, as well as all the rock lights. So inside the fenders, we're gonna have rock lights show off the cool suspension on this thing. So they have a Cyclone V2 rock light kit here with all the necessary pieces and parts that'll go in it. We have a couple spare ones over here to mount where we want, and a couple different lenses. So you can actually get these in a bunch of different colors, color waves to actually just clip on, just like the caps. You can swap out the colors. They come in clear, so they'll come in with a white light, and you can put all sorts of different colors and things on them. You can see there's an amber one right here, and you can go ahead and swap those out from amber to red. I think they have blue, a couple other different colors. So pretty much anything that you're looking for, you can run with KC highlights. So, and they have all the necessary wiring harnesses to just plug this stuff in and run it. It's not going to take us very long at all to get this stuff set up, which I'm super hyped about. The rock lights has its own entire harness in here, which we'll go over once we start actually opening this thing up. Nice. You can see inside here, this is a complete harness ready to go. You can pretty much just plug all this stuff in, hook power sources up to it, and you are ready to rock. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and dive into the install on this. The first thing I want to be doing is getting those Slimlite LEDs mounted on the roof of the car and just putting those caps on and just staring at it for a second. I do need to wait for the wheels to come back for powder coat and pull the shock out so I can get it at full lock and full bump to mount the headlights, because the last thing I want is to hit a jump and smash the front end on the ground and then blow the headlight out of it because the tire hit it. So I need to make sure that this thing will clear with the tires that we have right now. Eventually this car will go at least to a 33, if not a 35 Tenzer or some sort of 35-inch tire, and so in the future we might have to remount the lights, but for now we'll probably keep them pretty far in and pretty far narrow, so it might look a little funky, but you got to keep in mind it's got to make sure it'll last. So let's get into the install. And with that being said, I will have a link down to the KC Highlights website so you can check out all these products, and I will have everything that you see here linked in the description below. So I want to give a massive thank you to the guys over at KC Highlights for working with me on today's video. Let's get into the install. It's gonna be a good one. Alright, so you can already see how cool this is going to look, but the one issue I'm running into already is I can tell this light's too low. So what is going on here is you can see these tabs are mounted on the bottom half of the rack. So what I think is going to happen is I'm going to have to cut all of them off and weld them to the top half. Now that'll gain us an inch, but I think I might step them up a little bit higher and try to get this light to land quite literally in the center of this. So I'm going to take some measurements. I know from the base of this to the top of this is 8 inches. So if I'm going to measure whatever this is and then, you know, basically split the difference between the two, and that's how much I'll raise that tab. So if I have to make a little plate and put a brake in it and then get this thing to sit up a little bit higher than the base of this tube, then so be it. But you can tell that's gonna look really rad once these things are all in. You know, staring at the front of this car, it's just gonna fit. It's just gonna work really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that rack off, get it modified, and get everything back on. All right guys, got the first light mocked up. So I went ahead and flipped the tab on the top. Tacked in right there. The only thing I'm noticing is it might be a smidge low, barely low, like we're talking like a 1/4 inch low, but I think I might leave it. The only thing I might do is pull the tab, just bend it up a little bit more and then clock the light differently, because I think these are the only lights that'll ever live on this rack. So if anything, I can bring those tabs up, and what that'll actually do is you can see there's a little gap between the roof line and where these tabs are. So if I pull the tab up, this is how my engineering brain works. And from my engineering perspective, if I kick the tab up, it'll create an airflow upward. I can actually kick the air up and over the roof instead of into the windshield and up over the roof. But I don't know if it's really gonna make that big of a difference, but aerodynamics kind of makes sense. I don't know, I might kick the tab just like an 1/8 inch up a little bit, maybe like a 10-degree angle, like nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna try that, see if it centers the light a little better, see if it looks a little better. I just don't wanna be able to see the tab. So it's also like a foot in the air right now, so it's a little bit different. But either way, I'm really digging that look. So I think 5 of those things up there, it's gonna look so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get this thing mounted up. So the nice thing about these caps is you can quite literally just swap them out. So I'll just show you how easy it is. Pop those up. I like it. Yeah, gotta play with it. All right guys, a little update. So went ahead and put the supplied harness. So Casey actually sends you pretty much everything you need to get these hooked up in your vehicle. They send a Deutsch connector harness, which is freaking rad. It's already loomed, it's already taped, it's already weather tight. So what we did is we took that plugs right into the light rack. You don't have to modify or add anything there. And they sent it specifically for the amount of lights that we've ordered. So we'll drill that into our roof. We've already put a grommet there, and we ran that power wire to its supplied female connector. And then was this part of their harness, or did we make this?
That was part of their harness.
This end right here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this runs down, and I believe we have this running up to a relay up on the front of the car.
Yeah, we got a relay right here.
Yep.
It's just that was the best place we could find where we go.
This is all temporary, by the way.
All of this is temporary.
Because we're going to redo the front half of the cage, the firewall, all that stuff. So this is very temporary. The rest of it in the back of the car, a little more permanent, but don't look at this and judge, because I know how to wire. So does he.
So
we're fixing what was already here.
I kept it long enough for us to plan ahead and modify throughout the time period of which he would own this. So I'm still trying to figure out what these switches are doing, but I did figure out how to get this done.
Whoa.
There we go.
That is so sick. And you can see the outside ones are actually on, and these things are bright. Check this out. I don't know if I'll be able to get it off with one hand.
We got one here.
Yeah, these things are rad. So this is definitely the style that we're going for. You can see if I shut these things off, this looks absolutely baller. And you can see even with the one light, that's just one little light. There's gonna be 5 of these things and 2 headlights on this car. It's gonna be very, very bright. You can see just adding the one light. That's one light, adding one. There's 3 more in the center with covers still on them. But you can see with the KC highlights and little smiley face, oh, that looks so cool. That is so freaking rad. So yeah, we're gonna get the rock lights mounted, get the headlights mounted. I'm gonna work on getting the steering done, and we're gonna continue hooking the rest of the harness up and show you guys exactly how it is once it's all done and hooked up. we're working on like 900 things at once on this car, from the wiring to the KCI lights, to the steering, to the back half, to the motor, to the motor mount. So we have a bunch of stuff going on at once. So there's stuff absolutely everywhere. But the one thing we want to do is actually put some product on the engine on this thing to make sure it stays cool, stays functioning properly. So we got the guys from Heatshield over here. What's up, Chris?
Hey, buddy.
How's it going? So got some product from the guys over at Heatshield Products. We're gonna be putting some of these parts on the back of the Bug. This isn't the stock engine. And there's a lot of things that aren't where they're supposed to be. And there's a lot of wires and places where they probably will be exposed to an immense amount of heat, because I am building an exhaust that runs up through the front of the engine. So the exhaust is gonna be very close to the engine on this thing. So on top of header wrap and little pieces that we're gonna put on the wires, there's a lot more stuff that you guys make other than just simple wraps. So that's kind of what we're gonna go over. So I didn't know you guys had T-fittings. That's actually super cool. So
yeah, it's sort of Gucci. I mean, you gotta be able to throw it together. Again, all of this is radiant barriers. None of it's an insulator. So at the end of the day, we're just trying to block heat that's coming from the outside in on those wires. There's gonna be some snipping. So this is your best friend, super glue. Honest to God, pair of Shane scissors.
yeah, specifically Shane scissors.
Yeah, so we're gonna cut that up. You're gonna see it, but yeah, we're trying to just block heat from those wires. You can see they get a little bit crusty as it is now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna fix all that, and the T's will help in these junctions, so you don't have to strip this back, cut a hole in the sleeving, then pull the wire through. It's gonna come together really nice.
Yeah, sweet. So they're gonna start jamming on that. They're gonna start putting a bunch of different pieces on all the hoses and wires and fittings on this thing, and then I'm gonna kind of show you guys the process as it goes together, and then we'll come back after it's all done and kind of go over everything again. So a bunch of stuff happening really quick. We can't show as much as we'd like to, but you guys will get the point, and you'll see how efficient this stuff is and how timely of a manner you can put this stuff on. You can bring this stuff home, eat dinner, and before you go to bed, you can have all this stuff on your engine. It's pretty simple and easy to do. So we're gonna show you guys how we do it. Nice.
Help, I'm trapped.
All right, guys, got this stuff wrapped up, so you can see it's already done. It hasn't been that long at all. So what'd you guys do?
We added the utility shield here. Okay, this is the Stealth product. It's just a dyed basalt. We did 6 inches. Utilities all over here. The cable for the alternator on this side. Did a starter shield down there.
Yeah, these things are SUPERCHARGER.
And so for all you Honda guys there, it works.
Yeah.
It's not just for muscle cars.
And I see some gold stuff inside, so one of the
That's
things.
sort of just to add to the ambiance of this car. It's a gold sleeve. It's really for protecting radiant heat, but this is just makes it look cool.
But that thing we said is like over 1,000 consistent it can handle.
And the reality is that it will create heat on your neck, so this will stop that. So I guess it does have a meaning.
Yeah, but everything here is made from volcanic rock. It's all made right here in America, and it works. That's why we're using it. So Heatshield Products, this is the good stuff. Don't use any of that Chinese knockoff garbage.
Never.
So we use
Never.
Yeah, we use the real stuff here. This stuff works. That's why we keep using it on all of the cars that you see in the shop. So shop's a mess. I got to work on the steering still, running around across the front. We're working on doing the bracket and getting it welded up here in a second. You can see wherever I put it. I don't even know where I put it. Got Christian working on the lights, getting the lights all ran. We're getting down and dirty with this stuff. So you can see I made the bracket for the steering rod. So this guy's going to sit in the tubes, and we're going to basically throw a Heim on this guy, and that will run our steering rod up. And I'm going to make one that off of that dash tube right there. You can see Christian just got the dash fired up. Well, another Heim right there. So we're gonna have a Heim on the bottom locating the rack, and then it'll go up to the steering column. We'll have another one up top, so we're gonna have both. So should be pretty fun. I'm gonna get this thing sanded up and welded in the car. Massive thank you to you guys for cruising and helping out. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah, nice shirt by the way.
You're welcome.
I lost that shirt. I don't even know where it went. That's an old one. Damn, man, whipping the foreign, bro. Dude, that thing's foreign as hell. I made a shaft. Isn't it beautiful? Don't you like my shaft?
It's a great shaft.
It's so nice. It's nice and smooth, straight, just the way it should be. Excuse me, I need to install my shaft in this hole in the car.
Okay, this hole.
I want to clean all this crap up, but every time I clean something up, I turn around, more that shows up. There's a lot of shaft work going on. There's a lot of shaft work going on today. Okay, shaft ain't shafting. Oh wait. Ah! Steering wheel holder. So there's a lot of U-joints in this system. I got like 3 of them, and they're all 7/8. I made everything like super mega overkill on purpose. So then now that quick release hub's gonna sit right here, and I'm gonna design and build another wild looking plate that gets welded to this tube that essentially comes out, has a 7/8 nut in it or hole in it for this to sit in, and I can fully adjust and raise the column up and down, and then it'll hold this part straight, keep the column where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this plate, weld it on, get this thing situated, put a steering wheel on it, and hopefully I have steering, maybe? I don't know.
I hang it like this, I can make a dimple dyed top plate. That would look bougie. See, I built it like that, then realizing this Heim is gonna be really maxed out right there, so I'm probably gonna have to flip it over. Mount it like that, put a hole in it, hang it, but then I can make a cool bougie top plate for it, make it really cool. And then I'll put a little gusset here probably, gusset on this side, put a hole right in the smack middle of this thing, and then that will do.
The KC wiring harness actually makes things a lot easier to wire because they include practically everything with this whole kit. For the rock lights, you can actually add them into the cabin or on the outside, what we have here. In these locations here, and we're gonna have one in the center here. With all what we got going on, KC makes everything super, super simple, even on a hodgepodge like Craig's Bug.
Hey, I heard that. Not a hodgepodge anymore. A lot nicer.
Slightly nicer hodgepodge.
Thank you.
So we got stuff everywhere, but we're gonna be putting the Strange Engineering quick release hub and the Grant wheel in this car. This is very budget friendly. This is cheaper. I think this hub, it's SFI certed, and it is, I think, like 150 bucks. It's a weld-on style. So you can see the hub is just sitting in here, and we'll weld this. This is the exact same setup that's in my Lincoln Town Car, and I've run it for probably 2 to 3 years, at least 2 years now. With this exact same steering wheel. So these two will go like that. They'll bolt together, and they'll go in the car. I'm gonna go ahead and set this. It's got like a little billet horn cap, Strange, which is pretty rad. And then for whatever reason, the wheel got sent to me with a freaking strip bolt, which was sick, so I had to get that out. But it's okay, because Strange doesn't suck, and they'll send you brand new hardware that fits right in. We just gotta throw a nut on the back. So we'll slide all this stuff in, like that. We'll locate this guy. I like the polished hardware a little bit better anyways. Got those in, that steering wheel's not gonna fall off. It's definitely gonna need another Heim, as you can see. Hey yo,
Too late.
damn, whoa, hey yo, hold up. Ooh, baby, that looks good. Dude, that's gonna look so good.
No,
It's the same wheel.
dude, this is too nice now.
That looks so good. So massive shout out to the guys over at Rev Auto down in El Cajon, California. They got these things knocked out super fast, like 3 days. Custom color on the beadlock rings and ceramic cut on the wheels, so the dirt will just wash right off. So I'm super hyped on this. So we're gonna get the rest of them out. They just finished these today, so we're gonna mount these things up, get them on the car, get the car back on the ground. I haven't seen this car with wheels on it in over a week, so this should be interesting.
Got more. Just need somewhere to put them.
Hey, wait, now I'm gonna have to blur that. Oh, that's.
Don't make it move.
No, make it move.
I'm gonna try to get burned.
Yeah, because you weld something and then go grab it immediately after. Oh my God, it's so bright in here, I can't hear you.
Wow, I can see clearly now. The rain's gone.
Damn!
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, the new hardware in there too. Oh my goodness.
Hell yeah.
That's so baller. I kind of want to throw it on like just on this one front. Just hang it real quick, see what it looks like. Yeah, this is so sick. Dude, they're not even like shined up or anything yet. That's gonna look so cool. And the new hardware is the same color as the ring too. That's sick. I'm very happy I went with like the semi-gloss over the like super glossy black because it matches the carpet.
Oh, it's perfect.
Shout out to my boy JC next door for mounting these up last minute for me. I really appreciate it. I know what speedlocks suck. I've done them plenty of times. We have way too many things to do and not enough time, so shout out to JC. Alrighty, so we are putting the fan zip ties in this thing because this, I think this is supposed to have a spring. I don't have it. It didn't come with this kit. I don't really care, so I'm just gonna mount it.
Yep.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa! I think there's more cooler things going on over there.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's so sick. I can't see a damn thing, but it looks cool.
I know.
Yeah, baby!
Oh my God.
Five slim lights and 2 daylighters. Yeah, LED daylighters. So these are going to be our headlights. You can see there's a lot different. They're not quite as gnarly, which is good. As much as I want to just blind everybody on the street, I need to actually be somewhat legal. Because this is such a street car, you know? But damn, look at that. That is wild, bro. It's pitch black over here. That looks so, it looks like a proper car.
It's like daylight over there, man.
Yeah, this is so rad.
I'm super stoked that the guys at KC are working on this bug. Definitely go down and link in the description. I'll have all the parts and product that we use on this thing. This looks super rad. I'm super stoked. So couldn't have thought of a better light to throw on this thing.
getting down to the wire on this bug project. It is almost done. We're wrapping up a couple things, and the last thing on the list is the rock lights. We got all the lights to work. Car is back on the ground in one piece and looks phenomenal. These KC highlights and KC daylighters up front and the slim lights up top look absolutely killer. We have all the rock lights ran, so you can see right here, we've got them all just kind of sitting where their places or where they're going to be. We have 2 up front. There's a dome light out back. We've got tail lights, and then we have 2 rock lights in the back rear sections to go ahead and, you know, show off the shock area and all that stuff. So you can see there's red right here, which they got, and then you have the clear right here. So I'm gonna tab these things up. I've just got a bunch of universal tabs I went ahead and cut up in the same size, and I'm gonna be taking those and weld them right here for the brake lights. I'm gonna weld another one on the cage for the rock lights, and then actually tab these things up and get them mounted. But it's coming along. You're gonna see how I built this in another video, but it's right there. It's literally right there. So I'm pumped to see this thing come together. It looks absolutely awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and get the tabs put on the car, finish up the rock lights, put the hood back on it, and we are done, ready to go to King of the Hammers. So this project's looking really rad. I see you back there, you're doing a bunch of funny stuff in there. But yeah, this thing looks rad. I'm stoked. This looks so awesome with the KCs on it. All right, this thing is finally getting wrapped up, and it looks incredible. Look at how rad this thing came together. Like 3.5 to 4 weeks, just shy of a 1 month build. This is what came out of it, and I am hyped. It looks awesome. It sounds awesome. Everything about this thing is so perfect. I cannot get over how well this thing came out. Like you said, you guys will hear and see the exhaust in a future video. But for right now, I do want to test all the lights so you guys can see it. So I do want you to turn the first 2 switches on, and then slowly go from right to left. So there's your fans. There's your rock lights, there's your headlights, and there's your light bars. Go ahead and turn the third one to the right off. Don't need fans right now, but you can see how cool this thing looks. The rock lights look sweet. We gotta turn the lights off to get the full effect here. Yeah, baby. All right, start over. So our running lights are in the back, tail lights are always gonna be on. Then we'll go, I think that's right, rock lights is the first one. Yep, rock lights are on. Then we have our headlights, and then our light bar. Yeah, that's super cool. And like I said, there's covers on this. These outside ones are on. You can see them. If we pop these things off, it gets significantly brighter like we showed earlier. But look at the rock lights in the back. It's something I wanted to do was highlight the suspension on the back of this car when it's driving down the road, and this is, oh, this is gonna be great. I wanna add another one on top of the engine and for a license plate light, but this is so perfect. Going down the street, this thing's gonna look insane. Even inside the car, we do have a dome light. Go ahead and flick that little switch right to the right of the gauge cluster. Oh, I guess it's not working. Oh, it's not plugged in. Yay. Wow, look at that. We even have a dome light now. How legit. It's pretty rad. You can see all this stuff on the dash now. Oh, this is great. So, super rad. I'm super pumped with the way this came out. You can go ahead and shut everything off, I think. But yeah, massive shout out to the guys over at KC Highlights. They hooked it up with an amazing light setup. This stuff works, and we are going to be taking it out and testing it out at King of the Hammers tonight and tomorrow, all the way to Sunday. We're going pretty much Friday to Sunday. It's going to be a fun weekend for the Ultra 4 race out at King of the Hammers 2024. And we're bringing the Bug. Really well set up vehicle. I'm excited to test this thing out in the dirt and the whoops. We haven't actually had it properly set up yet, and this is the first time it will be. So it's a good little shakedown run. We're going to do a bunch of photo shoots and media and a bunch of cool stuff with it. So I'm excited to see that. And let us know if you guys want to see a shirt with this thing, because by the time this video drops, we might actually have one. So that being said, I hope you guys went to enjoy today's video. I'll have the links for everything down in the description below. Go ahead and grab your merchandise at 909speedcompany.com if you do want to support me in the builds, so we can build more cool stuff like this for you guys to enjoy. But yeah, drop a like on the video if you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video of the Bug. Later, guys.
To burn the rest of the back of that tube in, and like